Yeah, I just want to make this video real quick. I just got a phone call from the manager of the Guitar Center. I went into the Guitar Center the other day. I always bring my video recorder with me just, in case I get harassed from not wearing a face diaper over my vital airways. And I just want to document this now because I just hung up with, I believe he said his name was George. He was the Guitar Center manager. And basically he called, initially very aggressively, because I posted a video of me walking in Guitar Center, and he was pretty, irritated, agitated, and, trying to challenge me and threatening me, really kind of a threatening way. Don't come in my store anymore. I'll have you trespassed. That's their convenient little trick they've been using with this crap. Stores trying to get people trespassed, which in itself is illegal and wrong. So it started off kind of aggressive, and I stood my ground, and so we were kind of arguing. But the guys, I told them, I said, you know what, sadly, 10 months ago, you and I had been shaking hands and playing music together and being buddies. And look how they've used this shit to pit people against each other and divide people. That's what they've done, and it's pretty disgusting. But we got talking, and it smoothed out, and we were really talking like friends, And then I went and got the law, and read the law to him. And here's what came out of it, ultimately. At the end of the conversation, he kept trying to finish with his point of, well, just don't, come in my store again without a mask on. And I said, well, if I need something from the store, of course I'm going to go in without a mask because I don't wear a mask. And he says, no, you can't do that. And I said, yes, I can do that. So that round and round thing, right? So what really came out of it is two things. Number one, I told him, I said, you know what? Actually, I appreciate the call because you've encouraged me to contact corporate for the Guitar Center. And I explained to him, just like you've seen Walmart, they changed their tune because people were bringing lawsuits up against them and, standing their ground on their rights. Other stores have done the same thing. So really, the Guitar Center now needs to do the same. And I conveyed it to him very well, where he told me he respected my opinion and essentially, agreed with me. He certainly agreed for me to contact corporate. And he was just following orders. He was just going by company policy. And I told him, I said, well, there's a problem with the company policy because the company policy is contrary to federal civil rights. And I laid out to him, here's the bottom line. Any place of public accommodation, the reason there are federal civil rights laws on places of public accommodation is why? Because you can't have one place of public accommodation you can walk into and it's no problem, and another you walk into and it's a problem, right? What they've done is they've created, even though the governor of Florida, and I told him, I said, the governor of Florida has already stricken penalties. So there's no problem for anybody to be in your store. Your store's not going to get fined. There's no fines. I have the right to go in there because I don't wear a face mask for religious reasons and for health reasons. I don't wear a face diaper over my vital airways. So he tried to go with the thing of, well, if you need something, I can, call me and I'll be more than happy to bring it out to you, right? I'll bring it out to you. I said, well, that's like telling a black person, because they're black, wait outside and I'll bring it out to you, right? And he didn't like the way that sounded. He saw the point I was making, and I reiterated to him, look, federal civil rights means you cannot be discriminated against. That means you can't be treated disparately. You can't be treated differently on the basis of your age, on the basis of your gender, on the basis of your race, on the basis of your religion, your religious beliefs and practices, on the basis of your health condition, disabilities, health condition, which can be mental, psycho-emotional, physical, or genetic under law in the Americans with Disabilities Act under federal civil rights. So 2 of those reasons, 2 of the 5, exempt me and exclude me from wearing a face mask, and 2 of the 5 are the same as the others because they're all 5 civil rights. So yes, it's the same as saying a Jewish person can't go in the store because they're Jewish, or a black person, wait outside and I'll bring you your guitar strings. You don't tell somebody because they do not wear a face mask, wait outside and I'll bring you your strings, because they don't wear a face diaper over their vital airways. It's disparate treatment. You're treating them differently. And the point is, All people need to be and deserve to be treated equally in places of public accommodations. That's why the law exists. You can't treat people differently for any reason. You can't say because you're not wearing a purple shirt, you can't come in here. Because you have an afro, because you're coming in here. You can't come in here. Because you're not wearing sneakers, you can't come in here. No, because you don't have red hair, you can't come in here. Because you're not wearing a hat, you can't come in here. Because you are wearing a hat, you can't come in here. You can't treat people disparately, differently. That's the purpose of the law, right? So that everybody receives equal treatment under the law. So since there are 2 exemptions that I qualify for to not cover my vital airways with a face diaper, rebreathing my own carbon dioxide and rebreathing my own bacterial waste that's in my mouth back in and out of my enclosed area into my lungs, in and out repeatedly, because I don't do that, right? I'm exempt. I'm covered under federal law. So I have the right to go into any place of public accommodation because, again, as the law reads, I'll read it again here, public accommodation means a private entity that owns, leases, or leases to, or operates a place of public accommodation. And it goes through what the places of public accommodation are, which includes essentially all businesses in commerce that cater to the public, where people go in to shop, to buy something. They're catering to the public at large. Places of commerce. Those are places of public accommodation. It's all spelled out in federal law. Place of public accommodation means a facility operated by a private entity whose operations affect commerce and fall within at least one of the following. And then it goes through a list. Bakeries, grocery stores, gas stations, retail stores. It goes over a broad list and even gives some general that are all encompassing to malls, hotels, inns, shopping centers, parks, places of recreation, places of public gathering, right? Public buildings, right? Public commerce. Those are places of public accommodation. And you cannot have one place of public accommodation saying, well, our policy now is this. No, you can't do that. That's why federal law exists, to make it even keel across the board for everybody in the United States of America. You can't have now some different places of public accommodation are starting to make their own laws and rules and regulations over any issue. You can't do it. That's the bottom line. I made the point. The case stands. It's federal civil rights. Because if you're going to do that, just like the last video I made before this one, Joe Biden makes his big bragging, boastful commentary that he's going to come out on day 1 and make a mandatory face mask wearing for everybody across the nation. No, because he'll be violating federal civil rights. He can't do that. That's like him saying he can come out on day 1 and make an executive order that blacks can't sit in the front of the bus anymore. No. If it's a federal civil right, you can't tell somebody who does not cover their vital airways with a face diaper and rebreathe their own carbon dioxide and their bacterial waste in and out of their lungs, that does not do that for religious reasons, for religious convictions, religious practices. They don't do that. Or for somebody for health reasons, which could be mental, psycho-emotional, physical. They're perturbed. They don't feel comfortable. They have asthma. They have difficulty breathing. They get triggered. They had a drowning experience. Any number of reasons I could come up with that for mental or psycho-emotional or physical or genetic reasons, they don't attach things to their head or their face. They don't cover their face. They don't block their vision. They don't block their nose and their mouth. That's their personal experience. That's their personal reality. You don't infringe upon that. That's the purpose of federal civil rights. Everybody's entitled to the same equal access. Prohibition of discrimination. This is 36.201. Prohibition of discrimination. No individual shall be discriminated against on the basis of disability in the full and equal enjoyment of the goods, the services, the facilities, the privileges, the advantages, the accommodations of any place of public accommodation by any private entity who owns, leases to, or operates a place of public accommodation. Got that? All places of accommodation? Got that, Guitar Center? You need to send a letter to your managers in all your stores saying, look, if somebody comes in and they don't wear a face diaper over their vital airways for religious reasons or for health reasons, you got to let them in. Got it, Guitar Center? Contact the Guitar Center in Miami first and let them know, because I might need a pair of strings coming up here soon, okay? So we don't have to have an issue where I have to call the police and I have to document it and I have to file a federal civil rights lawsuit against you, Guitar Center. So get those messages out to your people real quick, will you? Thank you.